Hey everybody, so today we have a Kiriko and let's see, this is Kiriko and Moira VOD review. And this is in Bronze 2, I believe. It wasn't specified, but this is the VOD replacement for the one that had the audio issues that I've now made private. So, it looks like we're starting on Kiriko, so let's do a quick analysis of the team comp. So, there's not a lot of synergy here with this team comp. The DPS I'm okay with. Moira can heal the Rein fairly well, maybe the Hanzo, obviously the Kiriko, but I get that we don't know this quite yet, but Kiriko's, in my opinion, her best utility is the cleansing. And there's nothing here to cleanse. You can't cleanse Hook. You can't cleanse Trap, to my knowledge. I'm almost positive you can't anyway. And there's just really nothing else to cleanse here. Now, I get you don't know that yet, but as soon as you realize that, I would be looking to swap. I'm not saying there's no value in Kiriko after that, but that's like my biggest reason to play Kiriko. Otherwise, I usually find a reason to play a different healer. In this particular team comp, instead of Kiriko, Lucio or Ana is probably what I would have been looking for here. Yeah, probably one of those two. Maybe a Zen, maybe a Brig. But yeah, Lucio or Ana I think would have been good choices. Zen actually, now that I think about it, Zen would have been a good pick too. When you discover their team comp has a Roadhog, that almost always requires one of Ana or Zen. And because they're running their own Kiriko, that kind of negates Ana these days, but Zen can just keep throwing the Discord orb, so she can't really cleanse that, making Zen a little bit more of a Roadhog counter these days than Ana is. Now, if they're not running Kiriko, or if they're really hesitant to run Kiriko, you might be able to get away with Ana countering Roadhog. And if they're not running Kiriko at all, then Ana is the better counter to Roadhog. But as soon as Kiriko enters the scene, I personally feel like Zen is a little bit more of the counter pick these days. So anyway, let's get into this VOD review now that we've kind of talked team comp a little bit and see what we got.
Attackers incoming. The breeze brings relief.
So if I were you, I would probably look at getting the high ground here or up here, since there's a big shield and you've got Moira to cover most of the healing, just to try to get high ground and see if you can land some of those right clicks. But I do like the fact that you're just looking to do damage here and not like trying to heal damage that's not being given. Heal your Moira. Okay, a little slow on the Moira heal there. So your Hanzo is overextending right now. Your Hanzo should be falling back for heals here. What I would do at this point is now teleport over to your Hanzo and heal him, because your Rein is safe for the moment. Yeah, so you got a little to, you kind of thought like the half HP Rein with the shield would be safe. The problem is most of them are coming from this direction and he had his back to him. So constantly healing the Rein would have been the better play. Although I will say that the Rhine was kind of putting himself in a rough spot, but you just got to make the best of what you're being given right now. So healing the Rhine instead of trying to do a little bit of damage, like just constantly healing Rhine there would have been the better play than trying to do damage there. So at this point, just get out, get out. Yeah, couldn't get out. Your movement, you could have been kind of going back and forth a little bit, trying to make yourself harder to hit.
Hold it. Time to try again.
So here, you could be teleporting out to your team. You don't have to walk out. Yeah, kind of like that, but sooner. Alright. Looks like we got a fight coming.
Be careful.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to worry about the Genji because he's being healed by the Zen. In a situation like this, Zenyatta should be healing the DPS more, and you should be focused on the Reinhardt. I didn't even catch that they switched to Zen until just right now. That also makes you main heals. You were on the off healer in the beginning, so hopefully you made a mental note that you're the main heals now. Kiriko can be a main healer, but you do have to play her kind of unique to do it. I also don't think it's as advantageous to play Kiriko as a main healer. The only time I ever advocate for Kiriko to be a main healer is if you're running Roadhog or an Orisa, maybe Diva. And the only reason I give... Oh, actually, Junker Queen. And I suppose Doomfist, but I don't think Doomfist should really be too viable of a tank to be played right now, so I'm going to kind of stop it at Junker Queen. The reason I say those tanks, though, is because they're very easy to be anti-healed by an Ana, and then you can cleanse it and just keep healing and just doing your thing. And if you've got, like, let's say a Lucio or a Zen or a Brig playing next to you, you can still make that work. But typically speaking, I'm not a big fan of Kiriko as a main healer, but that would be a scenario where I could see that working. Heal your Zen. Yeah, so you could have... I think you could have saved your Zen there. Actually, yeah, you could have saved him because you could have just used your E ability on him. So Hanzo just died. Where was Hanzo?
My gift to you.
What was Hanzo? I didn't even see him.
Be careful, Shimaba.
Ah, okay, gotcha. You're there.
My gift to you.
Okay, so Ryan does not know where the Sojourn is, neither does the Genji. You gotta help your Genji here. Genji needs help. You're completely oblivious to it. Genji still needs help. Still haven't helped the Genji yet. Alright, they didn't contest, so I guess it's alright, but Genji still needs help. You're still not helping Genji. Not sure what that was, but you missed it. Yeah, so you gotta try to focus on healing your DPS more, keeping them in a line of sight, knowing what's going on. Oh wow, what is happening here? Okay. I'm not sure why the enemy DPS have fallen back that far. It's a little on the odd side. But your aim there was a little odd. It's like you're not moving the mouse and you're just letting your strafe try to catch up to him, but he's just strafing at the same speed and you just keep shooting the wall. So that's an aim thing you're gonna have to work on a little bit.
Done playing around.
You're definitely gonna have to work on your Kiriko aim. Aiming higher, looking for headshots, and just trying to get your mouse over the target before you throw it. She's hard to land. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not easy to land shots with Kiriko, but A big utility of her kit is being able to get a pick here and there. Alright, so you died.
I don't give up that easily. Soothing your wounds.
I probably would have tried teleporting to the Zen or the Genji here, just because teleporting to your front line could have potentially been dangerous, especially when you don't know exactly what you're teleporting into. This case didn't really affect you too much, but just something to take advantage, keep in mind for future games. So, alright, your Zen is trancing. You no longer heal here. You're in strictly DPS mode until the trance is up. Do you do it? Wow, okay, you died in the trance. Interesting. That's unlucky. But yeah, you did do that, so that's good. The one thing I'd maybe suggest for better positioning is climbing these boxes up here and then kind of shooting down a bit and making it a little harder to hit you. And then if they start shooting at you, drop down here instead.
Lick my wounds. Let's go.
Okay, your team's dead. Wait for them to respawn. Don't poke, don't peek, don't do anything here. Just wait for your team to respawn. So, okay, good job you did that. So now what I'd be looking to do is... Okay, you see the team. The enemy team's all right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not sure where... Oh, and then... Well, 5's right here, but you don't know that yet. So this right here is a good alley to do your Kiriko ult. Do you do it? Let's find out. Oh, you did it. Alright, good. Alright, so in this Kiriko ult, I'm completely fine with you going into DPS mode because your team didn't really take any damage. If your team was taking damage in it, you should have been healing, but in this case they didn't, so you're fine going into like a DPS mode. But just aim higher. You have to go for headshots because they're just too valuable for the kit. They get so much extra damage on Kiriko that it's the thing to do. I'm guessing you tried to teleport to Ryan and just got somebody else there, but I'll just say it anyway. Teleporting to Ryan would have been the play there. Because, yeah, you just ended up teleporting to the front line and getting yourself picked. So I'm guessing you're going to swap to Moira now. No, okay, interesting. I kind of feel like Moira, considering you're going to go Moira at some point in this game, and I haven't watched this VOD yet, so I don't know at what point you do that, but I feel like this would have been the time to do that. Although I do want to advocate that playing Ana to give the Kiriko a fit might, on top of having the Zen, because the Roadhog does kind of feel like he's a part of the problem right now for why you guys are struggling. That's what I would personally do, but I know you're going Moira, so that's why I say that.
Be careful, Shimada.
We must strike them down.
Like a gentle rain.
Okay, good. All you can do right there is just feed off of the Roadhog. The Rhine needs to come back. If you weren't telling the Rhine in mic chat to come back, he went way too far. He's got to play... Okay, well, the Zen trances. I was going to say, though, the Rhine's got to play a little bit more passive with this kind of healing, because even though you can kind of be a pseudo-main healer, it's still going to be a rough going for the Rhine. But okay, Zen Trance is here. I'm okay with that because the reason I'm okay with that is they're down both healers. And if you lost your tank, the Roadhog likely would have been able to just carry this fight on his own. Assuming he could just pick off the Zen, which I'm guessing he would have been able to do because then you don't have a shield and he could probably have walked up to him. There's a chance that Hanzo could have punished him too much there, but I'm good with this trance and just overcommitting to winning this fight and getting off of this point. Pushing the second point can be a bit of a pain in the butt on this map. So I'm fine with you being in a DPS mode here, but the aim's got to get better. We're missing too much even in terms of body shots. I think you've only landed one headshot though. You gotta start going for these headshots. And it doesn't even matter if you're missing most of your attempts for headshots. They just do so much damage that when you land them, it's so significant. I mean, you can two-shot any squishy with a headshot and a body shot, I think. I'm almost positive that's how that works. Otherwise, two headshots for sure kills somebody. Minus tanks, not talking tanks. But they can make a tank retreat if you can land two headshots in a row. I did that a couple times tonight when I was playing on enemy Zaryas that were pushing on King of the Hill maps. What were we eating here? Is there anything to either? Oh. Yeah, so that E was kind of just, I don't know. No reason for it, but to be fair, there's just I still got those X's up. But to be fair though, there's really barely any reason to be pressing E at all, minus the off chance you just save a life temporarily with it. Which is incredibly hard to do with Kiriko. But it could be done. Okay, so you've got your ult. This is a great time to just shoot it out. You could win the team fight and win the round. Do you do it? Yeah, you do it. Alright, good. You definitely got your timing down for Kiriko ults and when you should be doing it, that's for sure. Heal your Zen. Yep, okay, good. Aiming higher on that Roadhog, you could have put... heal. Okay, so that would have been a good time to do an E to potentially save somebody from a Junkrat bomb. Unfortunate that you weren't just able to win that fight off of that ultimate. I expected your team to be able to finish that. I mean, you got so close, but yeah. That's probably bronze things, if I'm being honest. A higher ranked game, that probably would have ended the fight. Assuming the enemy team didn't counter ult and, you know, other random stuff happens, but...
Nice to know you have my back.
Okay, so in a case like this, you got to get through the Sigma shield or break it. Getting through it would be more advantageous, or telling your team to back up so you can heal them, because Kiriko can't heal through a shield. Yeah, so most of your healing right there just got blocked. I think like maybe a couple slips got through, but... Alright, so Zen's got your back. He's trancing. It's an okay trance. The tank was in trouble, but I don't know if it really warranted the trancing there. I might have saved it for... Oh, they're not close to any ults. Although I don't know if the Zen knows that, but... It's not the worst trance in the world, but it's not the greatest. But it does enable the Rhine to go in. He's being a little passive, though. Here I would expect him to be swinging away. However, you're getting shot at. Okay, they just got off the point. They basically C9 that. So, alright, that works. If that fight would have went on a little longer, you would have been in trouble with the Souljourn getting on top of you, I think. But, C9 is a C9. Okay, so we're basically doing one round Kiriko, one round Moira. Got it. Alright, so what do we got here for team comp? Let's see. We've got mostly a new team here. So Bastion, Orisa. Okay, so with this, instead of Moira, Bap would have been good. Not that you know it yet, but they do have Anna. So Kiriko would be good here, because what did I tell you earlier about Kiriko and certain tanks and needing to be cleansed? Orisa's one of them. So Kiriko would have worked just fine here, I think. Those would probably have been the other two supports I would have suggested playing instead of Moira. Not that Moira can't work here, but I think you would have gotten better utility from one of those two. Probably Kiriko, to be honest. And it's a little interesting that they would go Anna, knowing that Kiriko has been getting played. So so I guess what I'm kind of curious about here is if Anna starts anti-healing your Orisa, and if the Orisa melts, how you guys handle it. Maybe the Anna won't even do that because it's a lower tier game. I don't know. So to me, this is odd that you guys are starting down here. I just expect everybody to be playing up there, or I'm just going to point up because of what's the high ground that's behind you. I find it odd that you guys are playing low ground. I didn't think people still did this unless they just really don't respect the enemy team. That's the only time I've ever seen people like just start down here. And yeah, see, then this is why, because you just put yourself at risk of catching random spam. So I get why you're down here because your entire team is down here, but it's just it's odd team choice. I guess it just chalk it up to random runs things again.
Progress is seldom won with ease.
So at this point, I would say your next team fight is going to be right here. You could wait up here, I suppose, but this is where you guys should be grouping up now. And okay, I don't know why you just kind of stood still and looked. What I expected you to do was peek the corner, throw a damage orb, and get out just to build your ult charge a little bit, because you really didn't get anything from that. Now, that goes to what I said in a previous VOD, and it might have been the Moira VOD I did for you that the audio didn't work, where I said it's inconsequential damage, but you need to get your ult charge up. So I'd be okay with it here, but what I mean by that, when I say inconsequential damage, is if you do throw a damage orb down there, you're just feeding the ult charge of the enemy healers and yourself. So is it worth it? It depends. In this case, I feel like, yeah, probably, because you don't have like barely any ult charge. But I do want to just throw that out there that this is where Moiras start talking about having upper tier damage medals, but a lot of their damage is inconsequential. That would be an example of that. However, because what you did was you kind of peeked out, didn't move, and took some damage, the one or two things you could do is just wait for your passive to kick in and heal yourself, or you could throw a healing orb out there for quicker healing. In this case, I don't think they're going to press up on you. Just wait for it to heal you and throw the damage orb out. What do? You wait for the passive and you go on a flank mission. Okay. And then you throw the damage orb out. So if you threw it when I said, you'd be closer to getting another damage orb out. Yeah, so I don't really like this flank because I don't really get what you're trying to do with it, and it leaves your whole team pretty much left with just a Zen. I'm putting the X for the Zen, not the Junkrat, but it's just leaving your whole team with a Zen. And okay, you have a Roadhog now, but I don't think you're doing this knowing that your team went Roadhog yet. So this is not a flank you should be doing. You should be playing with your team here. And then on top of that, you got yourself picked. But even if you didn't get picked here, this is not a position you should be at.
Great minds are always persecuted.
So your team didn't stand a chance that fight, mainly because you were 1 out of position and then 2 got yourself picked. Don't go down there. Just wait for your teleport and go down there. Because you're just gonna kill a bunch of time and likely they'll just be waiting for you at the other door. Oh, they're not pressing you. Okay, I expected them to start pressing up. A higher level team, these 3 and that guy are all gonna start moving up. And that one, or maybe the healer. The point I'm making is this group normally doesn't all stay on the cart. 3 of these people move up to meet with him. So you should be in trouble here. In a higher rated game, you would be in trouble here. It doesn't actually look like they're pressing up outside of the Junkrat though. But your hesitation to get out of here might still put you in trouble. So at this point, the only thing you can do is go to the other door. Both of you need to go to the other door. There's nothing you can do down here.
I am restored.
A sip for the parched.
So Kiriko teleports to you guys, and this compounds the problem tremendously. Oh boy. You guys need to get out. Take the other door. Yep, okay, there we go. Both of you, all 3 of you at this point need to take the other door. Yeah, so at this point, look how much space they've gotten off of you guys just not knowing the map well enough. I'm not even sure if you guys even realize there's another door to take. Or do you? Okay, you do. You do know. I mean, they got the whole point for free because you just stayed in your former spawn spot. Yeah, that's crazy to me. I mean, think about that. Think about how hard it was for your team to push through the second point and how much resources you guys had to dedicate to getting through there. And they got this all for free. All because of your guys' positioning.
This ends now.
So I'm okay with this flank given the circumstances. I don't know why you're not throwing your damage orb out, because had you have done that, you probably would have already killed Kiriko. Yeah, that damage orb was just very late. Yeah, get healing here.
You're broken.
I'm okay with how you're healing here. You're getting maximum value out of your spray, topping them off with the orb. I'm fine with that, and I like the trajectory of the orb that you did. However, this ultimate right here is too early. They're too close to their spawn. They can just retreat, and this ult is kind of pointless. And then the worst part about it is you're wasting all of this on a full health tank, and they're full of armor, so they're not really getting any value out of this. This would have been a better ult to do when they start pushing and get to about right in here, and then you guys would have retreated to about here, and then you could just start raining down on them. But yeah, that ultimate didn't do anything. There's too much cover here for the... So all you did was you used it on the tank. Barely took any damage. You're trying to right-click somebody that's way too far away. You could start right-clicking the Sojourn a little bit, but you've got people to heal, and you're so far in the front line right now, you don't even know that. You shouldn't be in the front line here because this is a full team fight. You gotta be kind of paying more attention to your teammates. Heal your Hanzo. Yeah, I don't know why you're not healing Hanzo here. And then you threw a healing orb into the enemy, so that orb is pointless. Get your team completely topped off when Kiriko ults, and then get aggressive with the damage if you're a support player. You want to make sure the people that can really deal the damage feel completely comfortable getting their maximum usage out of a Kiriko ult, especially if you're Moira. If you're like a Zen, a Baptiste, and Anna, I could maybe see wanting to get your healing or your damage off over healing, but get in the habit as a support when you're getting into a Kiriko ult, be it if you're Kiriko or the other support, make sure your team is totally healed first and then do your damage second.
Your end is within my reach. Lending a hand. I offer something more.
Yeah, so now that there's a tire on the map spread out, which you're kind of trying to do, although you're walking kind of back into the clump again, it looks like it's going to kill Kiriko unless she does something slick here. I don't think she has her E. I think she just wasted it. So unless she does some kind of a slick teleport and the bomb blows up, I think she's dead, which means you're about to be solo healing. Luckily, you got a lot of heal juice. Yep. I don't even think she saw it coming. Oh, and it got Hanzo. So... you guys are in trouble here. You guys need to be in full retreat. Heal your Bastion. Heal your Bastion. Bastion's dead. You're now going in 2 versus 5. You guys need to be in full retreat. I don't care that you killed Junkrat. It's still a 4 versus 2. Get out, get out, get out. Okay, now it's a 1 versus 4, and Roadhog still isn't getting out. That's feeding. That whole group of you 3 right there dying. It looked like Bastion was kind of trying to get out, but you and the Roadhog fed. You staggered yourself and fed. That needed to be a get out as soon as that tire went off.
Eyes open now.
So that way you would have had a team fight right here. If you all would have gotten out, the other 2 would have respawned, and you all would have been able to poke and kind of keep them in that vicinity, and that's a good place to have a team fight at. But you gave up a tough spot for an offense to push through for free, just like you did the second point. Not a big fan of that trajectory of the orb. That also is a situation where you're doing inconsequential damage. I think.
Eyes open now.
So I would have thrown that down that alleyway or even above the point. If you're going to throw that, I don't think I actually throw that damage orb there though. I probably just hold on to it. Especially considering you're going on a flank, you probably would want to keep that to heal yourself because right now you're in trouble. However, if you bounce a healing orb this way and this way, you could eat a bunch of damage coming from that Orisa. However, that also means you're going to be feeding to the Orisa. I don't personally think you should be on a flank mission here. I'm not really sure why you're doing that. You should just be getting with your team and playing with your team. So you teleport away, so now you're kind of back to playing with your team. Okay, so you get the healing. It's taking you too long right there to heal Kiriko. That shouldn't have taken quite that long. And you probably don't need to get her to 100% because you've got other people that you got to heal like the Roadhog. But getting a little bit of healing to Kiriko is the right move, but little too much time dealing with that. Now your Roadhog's dead. So you're in a position here where you just gotta try to hold as long as you can. Because now there's no waiting for your team. Now it's about just stalling the point as much as you can. So Bastion's going in turret mode. You need to just be feeding the Bastion as much health as you can. Yeah, that took too long to realize that was happening and doing something about it. You gotta be healing Bastion. Bastion's as close to a tank as you've got right now. Okay, keeping that beam through your teammates and then trying to also balance it so that it's doing damage is going to be your best chance here. For the most part, you did that. I mean, unfortunately, you hit a trap, but for the most part, you did that. I would say not the greatest choice of an ult for the Moira ult, but it was okay. It was average, I guess I would say there. Not great, but not terrible. Okay, so Kiriko's ulting here. I'm okay with it because you guys need to start getting some momentum back on your team. You need to be in full healing mode here because your Bastion's about to die. Your Rhine's taking some damage. Basically, everybody but Kiriko's taking some damage. That better be a healing orb coming out of you. Nope, it's not. Yeah. Okay, at least you're healing now, so it's alright. I think I would have liked to have seen a healing orb coming out, doing maybe a little bit of extra healing to the Bastion from the left click, and then just go right click from there. That's probably what I would have done, but it worked. No big deal. Something to think about, that's all. Yeah, get your Genji topped off. Get some right clicks. Okay, damage orb I'm alright with. Alright, so healing should be primary right now. Looking around at your team, who's hurt. You're kind of looking low. You should be looking higher so you can actually see health bars. So your Genji's low, heal. What kills the Bastion's about to die here? What kills him? So yeah, full healing here. You kind of get off the healing, and Sojourn is so strong. She just melted Bastion, which is unfortunate. And I'm guessing you just weren't expecting anybody to die because they were pretty much full health right away. But playing a little bit further back and keeping people's health bars a little bit more in your line of sight, so that that might have been preventable, would have been the better play. You're playing a little too close, and you're looking a little too low. And you're just not really getting a good view of the health bars. Get your Genji healed. Okay, a little too aggressive with the right clicking. If you needed healing juice, I might have been able to justify some of that play, but you need to be alive for every fight. Your healing juice is maxed out. That right clicking doesn't do much. It's totally fine to just throw out a damage orb or a healing orb and just wait for the battle to happen because you need to be alive. If your healing juice was really low, I might justify what you were doing there, but it wasn't the case. You got yourself picked in a situation you need to be alive for. You would have liked to have seen the Rhine holding his shield up a little bit for you, but at the same token, you don't want to just start wasting your shield, feeding off your shield, so that when the team fight starts happening, you don't have much of a shield at all. So it's a little bit on the Rhine, but it's more on you. So Genji got a pick, but now he's dead. If the enemy team were smart, they would go in here. It's 4 versus 3. That's winnable. So it doesn't look like they really go in much. Yeah, they're scared of pushing in on a Reinhardt, which is interesting to me. And then that Kiriko ult is so shallow. It's almost that Kiriko ult is a waste if you guys play smart here. If you guys just play back, that Kiriko ult does nothing. It might have killed the Rhine maybe, but that's not enough value for that Kiriko ult in this circumstance. So just play back. Okay, you're standing in the Sojourn orb. That drastically needs a nerf. Okay, so I don't like this ult just yet, and I don't like that it's on top of Sigma. Heal your DPS, and then get on one of the healers. You've got Ana, you got Kiriko in line of sight. Get your DPS going, and then get on one of them. If you're standing right here, and then you ult, you could be doing all of this. You could be healing these two, you could be damaging Sigma, and you could be damaging Ana, maybe even Kiriko. I mean, they're all in a line for you, and you're not there to take advantage of that. So your positioning here, not good at all. You could, yeah, look at that. Like, you're getting no value out of this ultimate. Your DPS desperately need healing. They're not getting healed, and then you're wasting it on a tank with both of his healers behind him. Okay, I just want to say one thing. What in the hell are the enemy healers doing here? The fact that they let that Sigma get that low is insane to me. That Sigma should be getting pumped full of heals right now, and the fact that you were able to get him that low is crazy. And had you have picked him, I would have been baffled. Because all your ultimate should have done there was fed the enemy supports ultimate. That's all it should have done. Had you have played in the position I said, you would have changed the whole dynamic of that fight. Yeah, that healing orb wasn't... I get why you did it, but that healing orb wouldn't have done much. You should be getting behind your Bastion and healing him.
Give yourself to me.
Okay. That's good. Just hold left click on him. Use that whole healing bar. Yeah, you stopped healing him. You should have just hold it down on him there. That Bastion's your hope and prayer of anything happening there. Okay, so she got it off. Okay, you got a pick. Get on, try to top off the Genji and get on Kiriko. That's what I'd be doing here if this were me. I would be teleporting through the shield. You got your teleport. And then throwing damage orb and right-clicking Kiriko, because then you could change this whole fight right here. Instead, you're kind of just... Yeah, you're going after Junkrat. Don't do that. And don't get point-blank melee range with the Junkrat, because then he can just bomb you. Yeah, that wasn't... You needed to get on Kiriko. Okay, Kiriko's dead anyway, but that should have came from you. If you're going to try to duel a Junkrat, playing around there would have been better. Put distance between you and the Junkrat, so if he does try to bomb you, you can maybe dodge it or take less direct damage. If he starts lobbing bombs at you from his left click, you can dodge that, or you should be able to dodge that. Don't get point blank with the Junkrat.
10 seconds.
Not as Moira anyway. So okay, Genji finishes him off. So at least Junkrat was low because of what you did, but that wasn't a situation for him to die. So I'm assuming, wait, did the fight just end? What happened? Oh, okay. Wait. Let's get on Genji. Okay, Sigma dies and that's it. Okay, got it. So, yeah, alright, so you ended up winning the game anyway, but it could have been a bigger factor on your side. So, number one, look higher. 2, positioning. 3, alt usage. Moira. I want to specify this as Moira because your alt usage for Kiriko is pretty good. In terms of Kiriko, look, aim. Aiming, looping into 1. Look higher and then aim higher. That's more for your Kiriko. Because you got to be landing headshots with Kiriko. I get you'll probably miss most of your attempts at landing headshots, but if you can land a headshot for every, I don't know, 4 or 5 shots, try to aim for that as a goal. You'll be doing so much more damage, and you'll make people retreat, or you'll be getting picks, that sort of a thing. But your positioning, like where you started at point 1 and point 2 was that both of those were, that needs so much work, because you gave up the second point completely for free. Luckily, the third point you guys held it for, you held it and you won the game because of it. And then alt usage for Moira, I mean, we talked about that in pretty good detail. So look for getting maximum alt usage, healing people, and then also doing damage while healing them at the same time. That beam doesn't stop when it starts healing somebody. It just, when your beam is out there, it just goes. It just goes. So get as many people standing through that beam as you can, be it friendly or enemy. Get as many people through there and maximize that Moira alt usage. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully no tech difficulties on this one, and I'll catch you guys for the next one.